The Beanie Bubble stars Zach Galifianakis, Elizabeth Banks, Sarah Snook, and Geraldine Viswanathan. A behind-the-scenes look at one of the biggest speculative crazes that blazed through American culture in the 90s. The Beanie Bubble, now streaming exclusively on Apple TV+, rated R. I'm going to say something scandalous, Ronnie.
Go on.
Plants are meat. And not only are they meat, they're delicious, especially if they're from Impossible Foods.
They taste like beef.
Exactly. Impossible is making meat history this summer.
Yeah, they are. Summer of Impossible.
I am so excited to be spending time cooking my summer foods, all that good stuff. And guess what? We can use Impossible sausages, Impossible brats. I mean, it's going to be a great summer for Impossible Foods.
Impossible beef is made from plants and 19 grams of protein per serving, and it's better for the planet.
And it's meat.
Plant meat, correct. So if you're looking for something to grab for your grill, grab some Impossible beef.
Summer of Impossible.
Start making meat history today. Just head over to the meat aisle at your local grocery store, grab some Impossible beef or patties, and get grilling. Home Aglow is a marketplace that connects homeowners and renters with house cleaners.
You can get your home clean for $19, okay?
Highly discounted initial cleaning. They really want to prove themselves to you, and they did for me. There's discounted recurring cleanings with Forever Clean membership.
Yeah, just save time by hiring a professional to clean. Don't do it yourself. Okay, you get high-quality cleaning professionals. This is wonderful. We've used them. Our houses came out sparkling clean. It was wonderful. Visit www.homeaglow.com/podcast to book your first cleaning for only $19. That's HOMEAGLOW.com/podcast.
Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Crappens, crappens. Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens?
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me is my one and only work husband, the man who's been with me for almost 12 years and will be with me probably for another 36. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
That is so sweet that you think I'm going to live that long. That is so nice.
Hi. How's it going?
Oh, good. Happy Monday. Glad to be here for the day. Okay.
Well,
love it being Monday.
Love it. Monday. Whoa, just another manic Monday, okay? It is a manic Monday. A few things right off the bat that we have to mention. First, we will be appearing on the wonderful podcast, I've Had It. If you're not subscribed to that podcast, you must. Because A, it has Bravo Origins with Jennifer and Pumps from Sweet Home, Oklahoma and Sweet Home. But B, it's like a hilarious podcast. And we were very lucky that we got to record a sesh with them. I don't know when our episode comes out. I'm assuming it's this week. But if it's not this week, just subscribe so that way you just will hear it when it arrives. But it was so fun. So go check that podcast out. Really, we just had a blast with those ladies. Second of all, last week I had an impromptu moment where I hopped on to IG Live and we just sort of chatted. And then Ronnie and I were just talking. We said, we have to do more of these lives. Take a Seat is, it ended, but we kind of really still enjoyed the Take a Seat vibe. So we have decided that we're going to start doing those IG Lives every other week and make them actually into a show.
It's basically like Take a Seat. We haven't come up with a new name. We can't use Take a Seat because that was through Spotify. We're not with them. So we maybe Be Seated or maybe Sit Down. Ben's dad has always called the show Sit Your Ass Down. So that could always be. And also, that works with crappins, right? Because you have to sit your ass down to take a crappins. So while we've got a classy name, just keep up the classy naming structure, I say.
My dad will be so pleased. This is not a joke. My dad is like, so are you doing Sit Your Ass Down tonight? I'm like, Dad, it's called Take a Seat. So, whatever it is, I mean, who knows? I mean, we may do more Instagram lives than just every other week. But every other week, we are planning to have a proper sesh where we go on and talk. We don't know the timing yet. We don't know when it's going to be, etc. But we decided this is what we're going to do.
Well, let's just do it now. I mean, you brought it up. You want to do the first and third Mondays of the month?
I guess, sure.
Why not,
Sure.
right?
Like, why not, guys? Let's.
I mean, Monday nights, I think, were good. We all liked Monday nights. What time do you want to do? Because 7 p.m. was a little late, I think, for people.
Why don't we, before we like lock in on a time, let's hear what people have to say, because we want to like get a nice time, like a time that works for as many time zones as possible. But
give opinions.
Give opinions, guys. But the plan is we're going to do them on non-Dwell Hello weeks. So one week we have Dwell Hello up, which is available on Wondery Plus, and then the other week we're going to do some, whatever the new iteration of Take a Seat is on Instagram. So, by the way, follow us at Watch What Crappens on Instagram. And also follow us personally at Ronnie Karaman, at Ben Mandelker, because it'll just
make
our hearts
I'm so excited.
explode.
Also, guess what? That means that next Monday would be the first Monday of the month of August. That would be August something.
Well, we did Dwell Hello last week, didn't we?
Yeah, but we can move Dwell Hello recording around, Like, I think first and third is better than saying second and fourth. Second and fourth is just weird. Don't you think? Okay, we'll talk about this later.
Although 2 and 4 is a better beat.
2 and 4 is a better beat. Unless you're in a
learned.
church with soul, then 1 and 3 is a better beat. Isn't it? Oh, no, you're right.
No, I don't think so.
2 and 4 is the best.
Listen, I've learned the hard way, because apparently I'm a natural 1 and 3 person, and dating a choreographer,
You're right.
I've been corrected several times when I've been on the 1s and 3s.
You're right. It is the 2 and 4. It is the 2 and 4.
So maybe the most natural thing is that we're on the 1s and 3s. So take a seat. 2 people who are offbeat.
Completely.
Should we just call it the 1s and 3s? Like, we literally incorporate the timing into the name of it. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's just the 1s and 3s. So we'll figure this out. We'll have a thing on Patreon where you guys can put in questions for Take a Seat, story recommendations, all that stuff that we'll go to. But point is, we are coming back with a live show. We are not waiting to be picked up by some network to do a live show. We are just going to do it ourselves, because this is Watch What Crappens, and that's how these bitches roll. So plan on that being a couple of times a month. We've got Take a Seat under a new name. Probably sit your ass down or be seated or whatever you guys tell us in these comments. And plan on that. We're super excited, obviously, because we're just planning it right now, even though we've got a recap to do.
It's like literally being planned on the air as we speak. Like, it was like 2 seconds before we press record. It's all happening, guys, because Watch What Crappens is a creative community, and that's like what our vibe is. No, that's going to be really, really fun. So we're going to be doing that. And there was like a third thing that was like super, I was like, I'm going to mention this.
I'm in severe need of exfoliation. Like, my face, I feel the dry layer on top that's just ready to be popped off. So I'll do that later.
I have news. I have news related to that.
Oh, what?
I don't know if you give it a rest for a second, because I think I had an ominous sign in the middle of my sleep last night about that, and I know people don't really care about hearing people's dreams, but I did have a dream, Ronnie, where I saw you and your face looked all kind of like the same but very different, and I was like, what happened? And your nose was sort of like going to the right, and I was like, what happened? You're like, well, I went to get my face. I went to go to the esthetician, and she used like a different chemical on me, and it like messed up my face. And now my face looks like this. And I've been doing all sorts of research on how to fix it. And I just keep on making it worse. So I had a dream where your face got messed up. So if you're coming in today being like, I need to exfoliate my face, I think I just had a dream that says, it was like a final final fascination dream. And I'm going to say, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying whatever impulse you have right now, sit on it and then wait for the bad face juju to go away. And then you can do it.
Okay. I think that's a good call, because I have been doing so much face stuff. Like, I use tretinoin, and I get chemical peels. I do this, I do a monthly thing, either a chemical peel or a needling, okay? Micro needling. And it looks good. Like, it definitely does help. Like, I think my skin looks good and stuff, but I think that it takes me down to such a thin layer of skin that my skin is becoming like tissue paper, where I just go down for a nap and then I wake up and I look like this. I look like a Shar-Pei. Look at my face, everybody, on the computer.
Yeah.
I look like a Shar-Pei, like this, and I literally have to go iron my face. I think there is a downside to doing stuff to your face. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Yeah, like in my dream, it was like your face looked like a little melted. It did have sort of like crinkles in it in a weird way. And I'm telling you, the nose thing, it was weird.
That way.
It was weird.
I'm getting to a certain age, guys. I'm getting to that age. So you know what? This is going to be the year of my nervous breakdown, middle-age crisis, and I'm so glad we're all here together for it.
I am excited for you to have an affair with Raquel, and I'm excited for you to also have an affair with Morgan. What's her face? And like, I just want you to follow in all the footsteps of all the midlife crises on Bravo.
Okay. Well, everybody, that was our first 8 minutes of nothing. So welcome to Real Housewives of New York City. A new era. That's what they say. And I don't like that they say that on the ad. You know, like where you're watching Atlanta, it says, oh, which, by the way, we're not doing Atlanta this week. Sorry, Atlanta, you've killed me. Okay? You've finally fucking done it. We'll be back with that at some point. But we wanted to check in with Project Runway, so that's what we're going to do. Anyway, when you're watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, it says at the bottom, coming up next, Real Housewives of New York, the new era. And I'm like, well, why did you have to pave me over? I feel like I'm just I've just been paved over to make a parking lot. You know what I mean? You don't have to call it a new era. Old people can still like you. This is my middle-age crisis here. Don't do this to me.
I prefer to call it a new error. But that's just me personally.
Yeah, it's just that, but in the New York accent. Listen, you know what? We're making a new era.
It's a new era.
That's it.
It's a new era.
A new era.
People are absolutely loving the new RHONY. And actually, I have to say, I thought like this episode, the first half of it, I was like, okay, I'm like chuckling. I'm having legitimate chuckles. I'm seeing the light. Second half, I was like, this is the worst parts of Beverly Hills. So all my fears have come true. But I do, you know, I'm starting to see the sparks. I'm starting to see it starting to gel a little bit, which is good. But I think it still has a long ways to go. But that being said, a lot of people are still absolutely loving it. And I think that's awesome. I love that people are loving it. You know, I love when people are excited about shows on Bravo, because inevitably it rubs off on me. Okay, I'm a chameleon, and I just, you know, I go which way the wind blows, and you know, I will eventually get as excited as everyone else, especially as all the people on Twitter who are like, oh my God, Brynn not knowing how to open up a refrigerator, total icon. By the way, not total icon.
I'm just kind of along for the ride. Listen, all I really care about is how much fun I have recapping it, and I have so much fun recapping it. So I literally don't care. You know, one of my favorite things to recap, Our Planet. Or like my octopus teacher. I don't really give a fuck what it is. It's just how much I laugh with you. And I laugh with you a lot on this one. So it's a winner for me.
It's been a really good recap. I've totally loved doing our recaps of it, which I agree. Like that's, as long as it's a funny show to recap, I'm pretty much always going to be happy. And have you been watching Our Planet? Where are you with Our Planet right now? Because I just finished it.
I haven't started. I was watching the super depressing show on Apple TV called The Crowded Room with fucking What's-His-Face and What's-Her-Buns. Oh my God. Them. Tom Holland and Amanda Seyfried. Oh, I can't. Okay, it's the most Holland and Seyfried. It's the Holland and Seyfried circle. It is the most depressing thing I've ever. I finished it yesterday, and I was sitting there crying, and I was like, I'm so mad at myself for being manipulated by this fucking show to cry. And then it made me cry harder because I was like, and I've been manipulated, and I'm sick of being manipulated. And I was like, oh my God, he was manipulated. Oh my God, she was manipulated. We're all so manipulated. And then I started crying, and then it popped up. I watched Atlanta to feel better, which that did not talk about manipulation. And then it popped up and said, Real Housewives of New York, the new era. And then I just cried more. I don't think it's going well over here. I'm going to be honest.
I'm just going to tell you this right now. The final episode of Our Planet kind of ends on a bummer note. Anyone who watched it, Ronnie, I guarantee you're going to cry. You will actually sob.
I'm just sick of crying, I also don't want to smile either. I just don't want to do anything. And guess what else ends badly? Our planet.
Always.
Our actual planet.
Well, I have to say, orcas. I have to say, normally in nature specials, the ones who really get the villain edit are the sharks. You know, sharks always get a bad villain edit. But I have to say, Our Planet, you know, like when you watch like The Real Housewives of New York, and for season after season, Ramona is the villain. And then she has the one season where she tries to be nicer. So then she's sort of not the villain. And then they slot in like Dorinda or something, or like maybe even Countess Luann or Bethany. So this was like the Sharks decided to pull a Ramon of like, you know what? I'm renewed and I'm just going to stay out of it this season, you know? And so now the Orcas have stepped in. Orcas are like the villain this season on our planet. And like, those orcas
are real motherfuckers.
They are. And I think that orcas have had actually like a surprisingly good edit all these seasons when they're really monsters, because, you know, people are like, oh my God, SeaWorld, those poor orcas, they're in captivity. They're like orcas. They need to be free. They're whales. And now we're like seeing the real orca, and it's like, those orcas are evil.
Yeah, evil. You're like, jail them all and dance for me. Dance for me, male.
I know.
Whale, dance for me.
Well, I mean, it's also crazy that anyone thought it would be a good idea to put one in like a swimming pool and like just train it to do things. They are like,
well, yeah, you saw Blackfish, right? That
I saw
documentary
parts
about
of
the orca, and it is really sad because they do abuse those orcas, you know, and you're all sad, and then one day the orca's like, you know what? I'm gonna kill the trainer. Okay, that's it.
You know what?
You want me to play with the ball? I'll play with the ball, and the ball is your ankle. I'm gonna drag it down to the bottom of the pool, and I'm gonna drown you, stupid trainer. Okay, what do you think? I'm a toy?
At least,
fuck you.
At least I didn't have to hear about my trainer on page 6, okay? No, but those orcas. Okay, I don't feel like I needed to see Blackfish. You know why? Because if someone says, oh, it's a documentary about how, like, we shouldn't be, you know, training these orcas because SeaWorld is doing terrible things to that. Do you think I need a documentary to tell me that? I just have to, like, look at SeaWorld, and I was like, I'm done. I just saved 2 hours of my life.
Yeah, you watch a SeaWorld. But yeah, orcas are real motherfuckers. But you still shouldn't keep them in captivity, okay? For all the people getting mad out there. You know, that's still not right. But anyway, yeah, my planet. One of my favorite things. We'll get to that. You know what? We'll get to that after we recap this, starting 30 minutes into the recap. People are like, what the fuck is this show? What even is this? This is our show. I'm sorry, it's Monday. We haven't talked to each other in a while. It's very important that we catch up on things.
Speaking of orcas, let's talk to those vicious bitches / queens / icons of RHONY, okay? So we're still in the Hamptons. We're still
but are we having a positive show? Because this is the first song, okay? It's the morning, and this is the song. I want to see the sun come up. I'll make it through. I was like, what the fuck are you complaining about, song? You're in the Hamptons. What you're worried about, like, living through the night? Oh.
Well, I think if you're staying at Erin's house, maybe you are having these feelings, apparently, because everyone got frozen out in her decrepit, like nicely appointed but decrepit house, okay? Because it's morning, it's 9:30 in the morning, everyone's waking up, and Jessel comes downstairs. She's like, I don't think I've ever been this cold, and I live in England. Is anyone awake? It is so cold. It's almost as if I told Pavitt to turn up the heat, and of course he's so useless he couldn't even do it in the first place. Pavitt! Oh, sorry, he's not here, just instinct.
So Erin is awake. Erin's like, I'm awake. She's like, it's freezing in here, girl. And she's like, I'm sorry. I don't even know what to do about it. It's just like, I mean, I didn't even know it was a problem. She's like, well, it's nice and warm down here, of course, because this is where you live. So I'm glad you're comfortable. Kidding, girl. Aren't we fun?
Erin's like, well, you can like sleep down here with me tonight, like two sleeping boss bitches, okay? And she's like, no, I'm absolutely fine. I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, was it comfortable at least up there? Erin, it's fall, winter in New York, and there was no heating. You think she's going to compliment your fucking sheets right now? Fix your heating. What kind of host are you? Listen, at first, the caviar caterers, you know, we all know how I feel about canned food caterers. Fuck those people. Okay, I won't go off on that again. But you had nothing for these people except Pringles and caviar, and now you're freezing them out. The woman just had to wear hideous lingerie. Could you at least give her a down comforter?
Yeah, you can just tell that Erin's like just not good at hosting people, but she thinks she's wonderful at it, you know, because I think she thinks that the quality of her house will do the heavy lifting, but the heat's not working, and they're drinking out of plastic cups with gnawed out straws later on. So,
sippy cups, yeah. Girl, no. And the quality of your house is your heater. You can live in a mansion, you know, on top of a shining hill above Paramus, but it ain't worth shit if your air conditioning and heating doesn't work. And yours don't. Shame on you. Shame on your house. Also, call fucking child services because You know that she doesn't know that because that's where the kids sleep. And those poor kids, they probably show up to school and like, you know, with really thick coats and multiple scarves and 5 outfits on. And their teachers are like, are you okay? It's like, it's freezing at home. It's freezing at home.
So then Jessel clearly has certain interview things that she has pre-written, and she's like, ooh, a gay person wrote this for me and I think it'll be hilarious. She goes, if I had known I'd be going into a cryogenic chamber, I would have brought my NASA space suit. Like, those two things have nothing to do with each other, first of all.
You should be spaced for that line. Like, if this were a science fiction show, I would put you in the bad person cage, and I would press the button, and you would just be sucked out into space, and then we'd just see you turn blue, you know, and your eyes crack, because that was a bad line. I will say their confessionals, bad gays. Are you guys just not hiring gays anymore to help? Because you can tell.
Yeah, I think actually in Psys are like honestly some of the worst I've seen on Bravo. I'm not being a hater. I'm just being a explainer. She is like, I'm sorry, she may be very nice. She may have a lot of upside on this show, but her confessionals are like, they make me cringe every time. I'm sorry. This is exhibit A in why you know, I'm having some issues with this show. But yeah,
this is where they need the most help, because
they need a lot.
The diary room, confessionals, whatever, those can save your show. This is hindering the show. No one has a good one. Nobody on this show knows a gay person. And I'll say that also for Kenya. I think she's fighting with her gay on Atlanta, because hers have been really embarrassing this year. I think that's hurting their show. And this one, straight. Yeah, I think Jenna is the one on this show that I hear most people saying, iconic. And I mean, I like her and everything. A lot so far, but her confessionals aren't great either. She's just like seriously, people don't like jeans?
I actually like hers the most because they feel the most natural to me. But I think it's more like the ones where...
Well, I mean, so is armpit hair. You know what I mean? But I don't want it.
Yeah, I can see. That's a fair point. What can I say to that?
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Ronnie and Ben here. This segment of Watch What Crappens is brought to you by Audible's new music competition podcast, Breakthrough.
It's like changing the game for audio-only series by being the first of its kind. And by stripping away the superficial, the series is like really reaffirming what matters most, which is pure talent. So, what do you get when you throw a real housewife, a freelance songwriter, and an auto-tune producer in a recording studio?
Well, thanks to Extreme Autotune, you get a bop that Bravo fans will be pumping up on their playlist for years to come. To name a few, Sheena Shea from Vanderpump Rules has Good as Gold, Kim Zolciak-Biermann from Real Housewives of Atlanta has Tardy for the Party, and Melissa Gorga from Jersey has On Display. Whoa, 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 the ring doesn't mean a thing. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay, well, maybe we should leave the real singing to the professionals, like the talent in Audible's new podcast series, Breakthrough. Ryan and I have been binging this singing competition contest, and the singing and songwriting on it has been next level stellar.
1,000%. And the finale brought us to tears. So many emotions. We're just completely blown away by all these 5 artists and their raw talent.
Yeah, and it's like really cool. They all have different personal and musical backgrounds. Like there's country, there's Caribbean, there's Cuban, and their backgrounds just like they really shine through during these songwriting challenges.
It's been incredible to witness them dig deep and push themselves to the next level, because the coaches really aren't just there to say like, you're good, or, you know, that was pitchy. They're really trying to develop them and their voice into their own artistic creation. It's pretty cool.
Oh my God. Check it out yourself. You can listen and catch up on the latest episodes on Audible or wherever you get your podcast.
Go to audible.com/crappens. That's audible.com/crappens. If you're hiring, you know what it's like to deal with economic uncertainty. And now more than ever, it's really important to hire the right people faster and more efficiently, because you got to keep the overall cost down. And thankfully, there's a hiring partner who's focused on you and your needs, and that is ZipRecruiter.
From pricing to technology, everything that ZipRecruiter does is for you and what works best for you.
And right now, you can try them free at ZipRecruiter.com/crappins.
Now, here's how ZipRecruiter prioritizes your needs. They've got very straightforward pricing, like no surprises, no twists and turns.
ZipRecruiter's smart technology identifies the best matches for your job. Hire the best with the help of a partner who's all about you, ZipRecruiter.
4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Just go to this exclusive web address to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/crappins.
Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/crappens.
ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
So, Aaron, and there's also, by the way, there's like a lot of confessional pylons. It's like one person says something, and then we get like 3 more confessionals, and then we go back to the first person with a confessional. Just like someone says, oh, did anyone see my cup? And then we get 3 confessionals that are like, oh my God. Like, she can't find her cup? Like, am I supposed to find the cup for her? And then you have, like, Brynn being like, a real boss bitch knows where her cup is. And Uba goes, what a wild group of ladies we are. We can't find our cups. And then Sai is like, it's a cup. If you grow up poor, you don't lose your cup. And it goes back to the original person and be like, I just want to find my cup. I actually don't know if this is really this show's fault. I think this is kind of afflicting a lot of the Real Housewives right now. General note to Bravo. We don't need as many.
Get some. We don't need multiple great chorus about a cup, and also get gays back in the confessionals. Okay, don't deny the gays.
Yeah.
So Uba comes down and she's like, "Hello, it's me, model Uba, darlings." And she's like, oh my God, it is freezing in this house. And Jess is like, oh my Lord, freezing, seriously, it is freezing. And then cuts to Sai, she's like, I'm freezing in this house.
I'm so cold. Like, I grew up poor, so I know what freezing means. And so Jessel's like, well, I'll just go to a hotel. If it's not fixed, that's okay. And Uba's like, wait a second. Can we talk about Jenna leaving last night? And then we have a flashback to 10:30 p.m. and Jenna's sort of like slinking out of the house, you know? And Sai's like, where the fuck is Jenna? Does anyone know what Jenna is? Anyone seen Jenna? And then they all see her.
And Aaron's like, oh my God, Jenna, why are you leaving? And she's like blasting music and dancing around in her bra. You know, because the drunk ones, that's the other problem with having half sober and half drunk. You can't do, it doesn't work. And this is why. You've got the drunk ones like dancing around, partying, turning the music up, you know, like the basic bitch on Spotify station. And then you've got the sober ones who are like, it's 10:30 and I want to be asleep. Okay, period. So she's leaving, and she's like, "I've got a 6:30 call tomorrow, so I can just go to sleep. You guys continue to play. It's like seriously no big deal. I just really like to sleep, you know."
And they're all like, "No." So now we're back to present, and Uba's like, "I'm actually very upset because how are we supposed to be wild, wacky women if we're not all wacky women together?"
Aaron's like, I'm seriously upset too. Justin's like, I mean, her house is by the ocean, guys. Your house is not by the ocean, but hers is. And Aaron's like, don't laugh. Or no, Aaron doesn't laugh, I wrote. And she goes, what is that supposed to mean? And Justin's like, well, I mean, she probably just wants to wake up at her house and look at the view. You know, sister Jenna. Ever since we were growing up, Jenna needed the best view, the best bedroom to look out over. If we were on top of the hill, she wanted to see the highest peak.
What I'm trying to say is, her house is like the Jessel of houses, and your house is like the Parfit of houses. Does that make more sense?
If I know anything about my sister, it's that nothing invigorates her like Mother Nature's sweet, salty morning greeting.
Aaron's like, are you saying my house isn't good because it's not looking at the ocean? And Jessel's like, no, did I leave? Did I leave your non-ocean looking at house? Of course not. Do I think it's a worse house because it doesn't have an ocean view? Yes, because that's how real estate works.
And Sai comes in and she's like, hey everybody, I'm gonna fall on the ground. And then she just falls on the ground because she's like really wacky.
Yes.
And Aaron's like, oh my God, are you still drunk, Sai? And she's like, oh yeah, I came in for the drunk. What'd she say? I came in for the drunk?
I don't know. I didn't even bother writing it down because then Jessica goes, you came in like a wrecking ball. I never knew how hard I'd fall on the carpet in Aaron's house. You fell. Oh, that's a current event reference.
Aaron's like, I decided I'm giving Brynn Jenna's room because Jenna doesn't deserve a room. I mean, she didn't even say bye. She literally did. I mean, granted, you had to come up to her and say, are you leaving? But, you know.
Yeah, I
still.
think. Yeah, she didn't like evaporate, and you guys realized this morning she wasn't there. Okay. So Jessel's like, I want to call my dear best friend, Sister Jenna. And Sai's like, she's like, well, I think it was rude not to say goodbye. And Jessel's like, I have no signal in this awful no sea viewing household. Cold, no ocean. I hate it here.
I literally cannot connect to no fucking signal. And Sai's like your husband? Your phone is telling you to go fuck your husband. Okay, that's what your phone wants you to do. And Aaron's like, God, tough crowd around here. So Sai's like, you bitches complain when you wake up. You know what? Your energy's off. I don't have time for everyone to be complaining. Okay? I'm an influencer. I'm going to go take a picture by the Keurig.
Sai's like, Jessel's too aloof to realize her delivery's a bit abrasive sometimes. Can we all just chill for a sec and be grateful that we're on a free trip? I mean, it's free 99. Okay, I just want everyone to listen. Free 99? I thought that's pretty good. That's pretty good, huh?
I mean, that is kind of funny, but also this show's supposed to be about glamour, not people getting free things. I mean, this is... Like, if you want to see the real truth of this show, watch Welcome to Crappy Lake, and you see what these women are really like when we're not fed they're rich storylines. And you see Sonia not able to buy shoes in the local store in Benton, and then Luann buying the cheapest wigs she can find,
God bless that show. So everyone's wondering, is Jenna going to come back? Will she return? And Aaron's like, I mean... She snuck out in the middle of the night. She didn't even let me make shakshouka. And now I have, no idea what's happening. She deprived me of my shakshouka moment. Because, Erin has really built a lot of this weekend around that shakshouka. We know this because she mentions the shakshouka 50 times this episode.
Also, can we all agree that she has no fucking idea how to make shakshouka? It's terrible. Her shakshouka is terrible. Everybody knows it, Aaron. I can smell it on you. I can smell your bad shakshouka from you.
I know.
Because people who know how to make shakshouka don't walk around saying, oh my God, I make the most amazing shakshouka. It's literally just what they make when they wake up.
Listen, I understand she's from an Israeli family, so that gives her a lot of shakshuka cred, but I still think it's going to be bad shakshuka. Just because you have an Israeli family does not mean that you have auto shakshuka skills. And we just can tell, based on the lack of heating upstairs, based on the caviar part, based on so many hosting miscalibrations, it'll be bad shakshuka.
It's bad
under-seasoned. No, not enough salt. I'll tell you that right now.
I feel like it's ragu, jarred sauce with just a couple of eggs boiled in it.
Hard eggs, they look like they're you're gonna cut into them and the yolk's gonna ooze out and it's just gonna be stiff. She's like, that's the way I like it.
Oh God, I love a rubbery egg. Actually, okay, I'm tacky too. Okay, I'm also not unreasonable for someone to not want to eat shakshuka right before they work out.
Yeah,
who does that? Who eats before they go work out? Do you? I've never heard of that.
No, you have to give yourself. First of all, you have to. I think the standard is what you're really supposed to do is eat 90 minutes before a workout, so that way you have enough energy from the food to fuel your workout, but you're not so close to it that you're going to barf or be too tired. But that being said, I think with shakshuka, even 90 minutes won't be enough.
That's not enough. And I feel like we all know that if you eat and then you swim or work out, you die, right? It's like if you eat and then you swim, you die. So
Yep. A lot of people have died that way. Shakshuka related exercise
injuries. A lot of dead
injuries.
children. Yeah, a lot of dead children eat after eating shakshuka and swimming right after. So case closed. Show's canceled. Okay, murderer.
So Jenna comes back and she has coffee. And Aaron's like, I'm getting angrier right now. And Jenna's like, good morning. How's it going? She's like, oh my God, I'm so angry right now.
Who gets angry? First of all, she's working herself over nothing. She's like, she was so disgusted that I would make breakfast before I work out. And so he goes, yeah, she was disgusted with you. And Aaron's like, she really was disgusted. Now I'm really mad. She wasn't disgusted. She wanted to go to bed. Plus, she showed up. Okay, first of all, she said goodnight. She was going to bed. Everyone was fine with her going to bed. So she still wouldn't be seeing them until this moment anyway. So
that's exactly right.
Then Jenna comes in and she's got this coffee that she's brought everybody. And it's Dreamy Coffee, which, by the way, she sold out Dreamy Coffee. Did you see that?
No,
Dreamy Coffee went online and was like, oh my God, to the overwhelming demand, Dreamy Coffee is literally sold out. We would like to thank everybody. Jenna Lyons, you are an icon, bitch.
Thank you, Jenna Lyons. That's actually really cool. Like if you have Jenna Lyons advocating for your coffee, honestly, I'm into it. Icon! But but you're right. You're right. It's like there's no difference of Jenna like staying over and just like coming downstairs right now versus coming in through the front door. There's no difference.
They're basically doing this. She's already famous, so she thinks she's better than us.
Yes.
Thing, and they're already getting mad before Jenna acts like it. Now, listen, I'm sure at some point Jenna is going to act like that. Jenna does not look like the nicest person. Like, she just doesn't. She has this face. She makes this face a lot. Where she kind of like I see her judgy eyes is what I'm saying. And that's why she was cast as a housewife. She's not cast here to be nice, but let her become evil before you guys just tell us that she's evil. She hasn't done anything wrong yet. You're mad at nothing.
You also could have just made the shakshouka and Jenna could have just not had it. Like, I don't understand. So Jenna's like, good morning. And so I was like, oh, how did you sleep, Jenna, in your non-Aaron household? And Jenna's like, oh, not great. Like, that storm is insane. How did you guys sleep? And Aaron's like, there wasn't a storm here by the inland in the forest, not by the ocean.
And there's like drama oboes. It's like
Drama oboes.
Yeah, they brought back some of the New York orchestral sounds for this one, like, and she's like, there wasn't a storm here. I'm like, you probably live under a freeway. You know what I mean? Like, we haven't seen the outlying areas of your neighborhood yet. So Jenna's like, well, what time did you guys go to sleep? And she's like, not late, like 12. And Uba's like, yeah, you killed the party, so we went to sleep, darling. Let me tell you what's not fabulous. A party that ends like that because somebody leaves. Ridiculous, darling.
I mean, I don't see how she killed the party. She was already asleep in her room or trying to go to sleep in her room. And so, I don't know. It seems like it might be a user error, not a Jenna error.
You know how hard it is to start a party by stealing some coconut milk? And then someone ruins it by going someplace else too early? God. Fun, crazy girls, am I right? What's happening here?
What an interesting group of girls that got ruined. So Jenna's like, well, I had a 6:30 a.m. call because unlike you guys, I actually have like a real job and I'm like influential. And I don't even have a real job right now.
What is her 6:30 call? That must be like a child call, right? Like,
well, she does have, so she has her fake eyelashes. So maybe she had like a manufacturing call with like abroad or something. I don't know. If Jenna Lyons says she has a 6:30 a.m. call, I'm going to believe that more than Aaron or Sai or anyone else. I believe Jenna Lyons, even though she's sort of, I don't know what really she's doing, I still believe she's like an important person in the world of fashion and that people call her at 6:30 in the morning.
You do?
I do. Yes.
It's probably me. It's probably me just calling every morning going, Jenna, did you know that cargo pants are back? They're back. Hey, Jenna, I just bought some khaki cargo shorts. Eat it, sucker. It's Old Navy, not J. Crew. It's just me pranking her about cargo pants.
She's like, damn it. So Uba's like, I just think it was rude because we gave you the best room. And Sai's like, yeah, I'm sleeping in a children's room with a crib and one hanger. And Jenna's like, okay, let's just like back it up for like 1 second because like, can we just like have a moment? Okay. You guys were partying. I went up to my room. The music was like literally on top of my bedroom. And I realized I'm actually like very wealthy and very famous. And I'm doing this right now. Like I should just be in my own wealthy, famous house. So it just made sense to me.
Yeah, and Aaron's like, but it was like 10 o'clock. And Jessel just laughs. And Aaron's like, yeah, it wasn't late, okay? And Sai's telling us, Jenna's acting like a geriatric. This is not a senior citizen home, all right? Step out, Baba. Step out, Baba. 3 o'clock, okay? Yeah. What time is it? What time was it in the morning? It was 3 o'clock, all right?
3 o'clock in the morning. Snap out of it, Grandma. It's like, ooh. So Jenna's like, I mean, I didn't even think you guys would even notice me leaving. And Sai's like, we noticed. And she's like, you know what? Granny's sleeping, guys. Oh, Granny's sleeping, guys. Lower the music, guys. Sai, you're going to have to do better. You're going to have to do better with your interviews.
And this gang up is so hilarious. They're all really trying to go against Jenna, and Jenna literally doesn't care. So he goes, oh, yeah, and also she could have cooked this morning. And Uba says, yeah, she could have made a shakshoukas, or whatever they're called. And Jenna's like, guys, hold on now. Yeah, and you didn't even let me make my shakshouka because you said it's weird and strange. She did not say it's weird and strange. Now stop making it sound like she's coming for shakshouka because you know that will get a lot of people anti her. She said she didn't want to eat before she worked out.
Yeah. Jenna's like, you guys are all adults and you can do what you want. If you wanted shakshouka, you could have made shakshouka. And then Aaron's like, wait a second. Wait, how do you say that word? Did you say shishito? Did you say shishito? What a wild and interesting group of people. We are saying shishito instead of shakshouka.
And Jenna also ushers in, at least it's the first time I've noticed it, conductor hands, which we love in a housewife. I love when a housewife speaks like this. She's like, if you wanted to have shakshouka, you could have had it. Like she does very specific, like moving her conductor hands when she's trying to get everyone to believe her. And Jenna's like telling us like, are you shakshooking me? Who's going to have like shakshouka before they work out? Like that would be shuck vomiting. Like, no. Okay.
That
you know what?
I didn't like that one.
I'm just going to submit that into evidence.
Yeah, you're right. It was not great work. So then Uba's like, well, it's nice to wake up with the girls and be here. Just because you have a house 10 minutes, like, doesn't mean that that you can't, like, that you get to go there or whatever. And Jenna's like, it had nothing to do with not wanting to wake up with you. I had a 6:30 a.m. call because I have a job, a job, occupation. I don't know if any of you guys know what that is. And like, I didn't want to disturb you guys. My car's right there. My bedroom's right there. I thought I'd just get in my car and go to the rich, important side of town and do things.
But that wasn't the deal, darling. Jenna goes, what deal? What are you talking about? Did we make a deal? Is there some deal? And Aaron's like, yeah, we made a deal to come to my house where literally you would have frozen to death. That's like, you can't yell at somebody for not staying at your house when your heater doesn't even work.
Yeah.
Like, are you people listening to yourselves?
I know. And Jenna's like, you guys played music so loud. I couldn't sleep. I didn't care. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to get ready to work out because like, I'm like really so over this. Okay. I'm going to go take a photo by the Keurig again.
Yeah, but you're one of the ones starting it and rubbing it in. So you don't get to be like start fights and then be like, yeah, I'm sick of this. I'm leaving. So then Aaron's like, yeah, well, I'm leaving too because obviously you don't like my house. So sorry you don't like my house. Okay. And Jenna's like, oh my God, my glasses are actually fogging up right now because I'm so cold. Just give me a minute too.
And Jessica goes, ha 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 ha. Oh, sister, best friend Jenna.
God, she's had that wicked sense of humor ever since we were girls.
Oh, I can't
Really
help
funny.
but think that if I hadn't nourished her with Oreos in my household, she might not have been this funny.
So then Jessel everybody goes to get ready for whatever they're going to do next. And Jessel goes up to the kids' room that she got stuck in. And she goes, great, I have one hanger in here.
What am I gonna do?
She's...
I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna have such a good point about Jessel, but I literally just like went out of my brain. So I'll just go right forward. So Jessel's complaining about having one hanger, and then there's like a knock. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. It has nothing to do with Jessel. It was about Aaron. Listen, I was like a little bit more on Aaron's side with the whole debate about alleged catch, which I went back and rewatched, and I don't know if I said this on the show, but like I do believe it's catch and not Tom Colicchio's craft, because I felt like when I went back, there was more of a ka face as opposed to a craw face in the lips. But that being said, now it's been 2 times where Aaron has honestly been like, she kind of chose like a passe restaurant. Okay, fine. But now this whole weekend, I'm just starting to think that like Aaron might be one of those people who think she's like a better social organizer than she is. Like she reminds me of a friend I have who, whenever you go out, she always, if you're trying to take like a photo, she always like, oh, give me the photo. I take the best photos. And she takes literally the worst photos. I've never looked worse than when she takes photos, and everyone looks bad, but she always thinks she takes the best photos, which is not the same as social organizing, but it's that same sense that like that misbelief, that, if that's even a word, that misbelief that you believe that you are so good at something in the social setting and you are actually a failure at it. And I'm starting to get that vibe.
Yeah, and she's also, I think, new to doing this as a mom. You know what I mean? Oh my God, that was my ringer. Did you hear that?
Was your ringer as a mom?
No, I still have my ringer remember when we used to make ringers for Watch What Crappens for Patreon?
Uh-huh.
And I made one that was Leanne Locken going, dong, when she was like, this season I'm changing. I've got a bowl and I do sound therapy. Dong. gone. And so now that's still my text thing is gone, and it freaks everybody out. Anyway, if anyone heard that, sorry. So my point is, I think she's maybe new to doing the social organizing as a mom because she did it for so long, and then she started having kids. And so she's like, oh my God, I've got like a group of girlfriends and we're going to go out again. So I'm going to take us to Catch. Like, that's the cool place. But it's not cool anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like she hasn't had to worry about the upstairs of her house because only the kids go up there. Why would she ever walk up the stairs, you know?
That's the nanny's domain. So, I think that's a good theory. So,
the nanny would be like, Mom, I'm very cold. She'd be like, I know. That's why I hired you. Great disciplinarian. Go back upstairs, please.
And when you're done, can you finally paint that mural of the ocean so we can put it outside of our windows? Thank you. I've got friends coming over.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So there's a knock on the door, and it's David, and that's Erin's personal trainer. So he shows up, and Erin's like, hi, David.
I think everybody has an interesting skin story. When people tell me, wow, you have such beautiful skin, for a second I say, who are you talking to? Because I never did. And now I found a way to really transcend that. And that's made a big difference, not only in just how I treat myself, but in how I see it reflect from the inside out. Nourish your skin, nurture your soul.
Created by Alicia Keys and a leading dermatologist based on her own skin journey, Keys Soul Care honors the connection between skin and soul. Learn more at keyssoulcare.com.
Hi, cutie. How's it going? And Uba's like, oh, woo, what a wild and interesting trainer. Yes.
Wow, I thought you just walked out of a polo convention. Am I right, everybody? Isn't that wacky? Do I mean the shirt or the brand? Or the sport? Nobody knows. Wacky times.
Misspelling of a disease. So then Uba...
Also, Jenna, I have to say, Jenna answered the door.
Oh, yes,
and I think this is true rich person way. This is how you know someone is truly rich. She's on the phone, and this is what she says. She goes, you know what? Just go ahead and pay him, and I'll deal with it later. Meaning, like, I don't know. I don't even know if the bill is correct. I don't know if I even owe this person money. I don't have time for this now. Just give them money, and if it's incorrect, I'll sue them later. You know what I mean?
That's so true. So David comes in and he goes to like shake Uba's hand, and she goes, "No, we hug." So they hug and everything because she's trying to cop a feel. God bless her. And she says, "Oh, David is so hot, gorgeous, gorgeous skin. He's so hot. It smells great. Oh, he's like can of coconut milk at a restaurant. I just want to grab him and take him home with me."
I've stolen him out of the pantry. Stole him out. And Erin's like, oh my God, can you believe her? Look at her, David. She doesn't even work out. She says it's just about the food. First of all, bullshit. Okay? I get being naturally thin and not working out, but Uba is stacked. Like her legs are like pure muscle. What do you mean you don't work out? No one's born with just muscular legs like that. I don't like this housewife trope of like, oh my God, I don't work out. It's the Lisa Barlow thing, you know? Oh, I never work out. I never do anything but eat Kit Kats and Taco Bell. Like, come on.
It's such a funny thing too. It's like, I never work out. I just have a severe eating disorder. So David is like, he's like, well, it's 80% food you eat, 20% fitness, and 100% mindset. And it was like, oh, that is some African shit. I'm like, it's also just like basic Instagram meme. So
it's also like Tony Robbins classic.
So then they hug, and then she like pretends to faint, and so then now Sai comes in, and then she goes to like shake his hand, and David goes, "We hug." I'm like, you just stole that from Uba. You came in, excuse me, sir, you came in with a shaking hand agenda, and now you're acting like you've always been like someone who hugged. Unless he was quoting Uba. But I think, I felt like I did not appreciate how he acted like he's always been a hugger when he did not.
I thought it was immediate Uba appropriation as well. I was like, wow, you just steal from everybody you train. Yeah. So he's just like a blank personality that comes in, you know? Yeah. He's like, wow, you know what I love? Cold upstairs. Am I right, everybody?
I wish I had some shakshouka.
Yeah, God, I wish we could eat some shakshouka while we're working out. Is that even possible? Let's try it.
So they are. Uba's like, oh, I've never wanted to work out so hard before in my life. And Erin texts Brynn because Brynn's still on this show, and she tells Brynn, like, oh, yeah, come join us to work out in the backyard. So Jenna's telling us, I love working out. I mean, I hate working out. I mean, I just like to not look terrible naked. I'm just like self-effacing.
So a car arrives and we see some little tennis shoes come out and a big long fur coat. It's Brynn, everybody. It's like, I can't believe we found it. It's an interesting part of the Hamptons. South is where it's at, but this is good too, I guess. Where do you live in the Where's your house in the Hamptons?
Exactly.
Man.
And I have heard South is like, okay, this is what I heard. I hope I'm not misquoting. But this is what I've heard the lowdown is on Hamptons geography, is that South is where all the huge money is, but it's also where like the awful like Ramonas of the world are. Like, remember Ramona's friend when they went to like that house season, I think like 10, Leah's first season, they went to the house and they went to the basement and everything. That's Southampton. So like mega money, but mega assholery. So when Brynn is like, South is where it's at, she's basically saying like, I want to be with the Ramona singers of the world.
Yeah, or like I want to be hit on at a really nice luxury hotel in Southampton is what I think. Because I looked it up and it says the Hamptons are one of the best getaways. You have plenty of luxurious hotels. You have plenty of luxurious hotels in Southampton and East Hampton where you rub elbows with celebs. Or you can head over to Montauk for more laid back vibes.
For poor vibes.
Exactly. That's like a deodorant optional vibes in Montauk.
Yeah. Listen, I think I'll tell you where it's at in the Hamptons. Wherever Ina Garten is. I think that's East Hampton. Because like, what's the point of being like far away from Ina Garten? Why would you go south of the highway when you can be right near Ina Garten? That's what I'm gonna say.
You never know when she's gonna knock on your door and be like, hi, I'm Ina Garten. I would love to be your new friend. It's Taco Tuesdays. And you're like, I can't trust this idiot with tacos. She calls them tacos, but I'm going.
Yeah. So and she also says, she doesn't say jalapeno, she says jalapeno, I believe. Or maybe that's my mom. One of them.
I think it's Ina too. I think she's got something she's being offensive about on purpose. I think she's mispronouncing things on purpose just to be like, I'm too rich to pronounce that properly.
I'm from the Hamptons. So
I have all of my shirts specially made. One of our listeners told me that. We were commenting on her clothes one time and she has a... Okay, no one cares. Okay, so Brynn is like, yeah, interesting. So the girls are being wacky in the backyard, running against bands. Like they're tied to each other with those rubber band things. And Brynn is coming through the house and she's like, hello, knock, knock. Well, I arrive and there's no one there to greet me. I expected there to be a line of staff like in Downton Abbey. There's no one there and I have to lug my bags inside by myself. I can't, bitch, yes, queen. So she's like, where are these bitches at? And she goes outside. She goes, honey, I'm home. And it was like, Brynn shows up to the Hamptons like a pimp, okay? Like head to toe fur jacket. And like, that's not the Hamptons look. That's like Mississippi, like down in the river. Yeah, who's still wearing floor-length furs? She's going to get spray painted and I'm going to laugh. Well, I hope somebody in this house does it.
Maybe it's faux. Who knows?
I don't know. That looked pretty furish to me. It looked pretty real.
Looked very real.
So, Brynn is like, blah, blah, blah. Hi, baby. Oh, David. Hi, baby. I've been sore for years because of you, David. Huh? So she starts taking over the flirt with David, and Uba's not happy. She's not liking that.
No, and Jenna's like, Brynn was like birth flirting. Like, I'm sure the doctors literally wanted to date her. Like, that girl can turn on a paper bag. I need to take some lessons, truthfully. I'm like, okay, Jenna, I see what you're trying to do here, but you've just given us like this image of doctors like wanting to date a baby. And then like a sexually aroused paper bag. Like, I just feel like Jenna's sort of went in a strange direction there.
Is there I know that people are fighting. There's a lot of picketing right now in Hollywood. We need the gay confessional writers to picket and form a union. That's what we need. Whoever you are out there, I will support you. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll come march for you. But we need you.
gay reality show confessional guild. GRSCG. So Brynn is like, welcome to Brynn's booty camp, bitches, because you're all upper middle class bitches. Give me more, Jenna. Give me more, Jenna. Because she's not working out because she's like apparently also has strep throat during this.
I'm still trying to figure out a gay union. Let's see. Confessional. What's a word that sounds like that would be like writer? Oratory. Confessional. Oratory collective. And then we need a K. Collective. What's a union word that starts with a K?
Well, you already said collective.
I know.
So,
that
like, how
start
about
with K
like,
anyway?
Gay oratory commentary collective, and collective spelled with a K.
But I'm trying. Oh, so wait. What was your first? What I wanted to say. What was my first one? Confessional.
Gay.
I'm trying to spell cock.
Yes.
So, confessional oratory collective. Well, that's cock.
Wait, no. Confessional oratory collective, comma. Queen, spelled Kween.
Queens.
Queens.
Okay, so Confessional Oratory Collective Queens.
Guild.
Okay, that's good enough for now. Working title, cock. Okay,
guild.
guys, so that is the...
Please welcome... Cock Guild is going... I don't think that we need the Cock Guild to go on strike. I think the Cock Guild has been on strike, and we need them some of them to cross the picket line to save some of these interviews.
Yeah, well, we need to support them so they get what they're going to get paid.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
If anyone has comments about streaming, it's the Cock Guild.
How can I stream more? It's like you look at their Google searches.
So Uba and Brynn are like competing over David now. David? And Uba's like, Brynn, step aside. You have strep throat. Don't give my man strep throat. And Brynn's like, welcome to the Brynn's booty camp, bitches. I already said this part. Bitches.
And so Uba pretends she doesn't work out, but she can lift her ankle to her ear. So I'm just saying. Okay.
There's a lot of wackiness here.
Yeah. So they do basic crazy wackiness, and David's saying, okay, you want to do some planks, Brynn? And she's like, no, I just want to do you. I'm joking, everybody. Joking.
Yeah. That gets from me yeah. So Uba tells David, she's like, well, we're going to work out when you get back to New York. And she's like, I'll work out with David anytime he wants. And now since I have a banana in my hand, I'm going to bite off of it, alluding to soul sex.
I eat banana in confessional because I'm wacky, hilarious lady. So then we go, everybody goes to shower, and Jenna's talking to Aaron, and she's like, listen, I want to talk about rooms with you because, like, if Brynn needs a room, I mean, we can give her my room. That's fine. I'm not going to worry about my room.
And Aaron's like, you just want to go home, though. I got it. You just want to go home. Because Aaron's one of those people who kind of gets off by trying to say what you're really feeling, even though she's almost always wrong. You know those people, right? Who's like, let me guess. You hate bedrooms. I know who you are. You hate bedrooms. Like, no, I didn't even say that. I wasn't even thinking that, you know? But Aaron's one of those people.
Yeah. And she's like, but you want to go home. And she goes, okay, well, here's the thing about that. Like, honestly, I had no intention of leaving. I was just in bed. My eyes were closed. My face was washed. And then, you know, I just like couldn't sleep. So I left. So that's really all it was.
Aaron's like, well, next time be like, guys, like, turn it down. Like, please turn down that Will Smith getting jiggy with it music downstairs. And Jenna's like, I just feel like very out of my element. Like, it's not being great being on someone else's terms and schedule. It's just like not very Jenna lines. So Jenna's like,
they just played Barbie World over and over. I'm a Barbie girl. Like, why would they just keep playing that over and over? There's some things I just don't get.
Like, I don't understand. Like, we get it. This whole like, I'm Kenuff. Okay, we get it. So Jenna's like,
I'm Jenuff. Okay.
I'm Jenuff. I saw Barbie, by the way. We can talk about it on the bonus. So Jenna's like, she's like, I get it. I'm sorry. I didn't want you to be offended, even though it was me who was most offended by your terrible choice of music. But it was not my intention, and I apologize.
And Aaron's like, well, thank you for that. Like, I really appreciate that. You know what? Hold on a second. Could you come to this pot? Because I'd really like you to apologize to the shakshouka as well. That's okay with you.
You know
what?
what?
I'm sorry, Shakshouka. Sorry.
So you know what? Like, Jenna's like opening up, but like we just have to accept that she's like a different person. Like she doesn't know how to be free and open and talk about life, and we need to give her time and clearly the space to let us in. I'm like, or also respect when she has a 6:30 in the morning call and she needs to get some sleep. So she's just gonna go to her house, which is like in the same town.
You know what you need to accept, Aaron? That your heater doesn't work and your hosting is a fail. So fix your heater and get a real caterer next time, and people will want to stay at your house. Stop blaming this on other people, and stop saying Jenna's not opening up. She literally told you about coming out of the closet, how that all happened, how her mother has Asperger. She's like literally opened up her whole entire life
I
to
know.
you. What are you talking about?
Yeah, here's what you have to come to accept. That there's an app called Postmates, and get some bagels for these bitches, for crying out loud, because they're sitting there. You don't have your shakshouka. Jenna's not there, and you're clearly hungry. So get some bagels, because I know there's some good bagels in the Hamptons.
No one told you couldn't make shakshouka after the workout when it would actually have made sense, right?
Literally would have made sense.
Guys, so Brynn and Uba are in the kitchen, and Brynn's like, he's gonna get more. I don't know.
David says David's there and he's leaving, and he's like, "Hey, thanks for the tea." And Brynn goes, "He's gonna get more than just tea."
And Uba's like, "Oh, okay. Well, you know what happened last night, don't you? Jenna went home without saying goodbye. You just don't leave. That's not polite." And Brynn's like, "Right, well, actually, I got my ass chewed out for choosing a place over people, and I was told I was not being a very good friend. So if that's the law of the land, it gotta apply to everybody. This is actually a bigger deal because this is your house. This isn't just some restaurant in New York."
Like, literally, Aaron got mad in both situations, and it just so happened that Aaron has squashed it already with Jenna because it was just dealt with sooner, but it wasn't any. She was just as annoyed and irritable about it. So I really don't understand Brynn here. She's like, yeah, like me not going to one restaurant reservation, and then like Jenna left someone's house in like the middle of the night to go back to her house, and then it's like all is forgiven the next day. It's like 1000% like a double standard times 10 times I'm gonna do David.
So getting ready time, and everybody comes down in the exact same earth tones, which is bizarre because they just
hilarious.
said that none of them knew what khaki was 2 weeks ago, and now they literally all show up in the color khaki.
They're all in khaki, they're all in tan, and so we get now like the dreaded effect of Beverly Hills, which is we have to watch them all come down one at a time and be like, "Oh my God, I'm obsessed. Oh, look at you, Jenna, darling, look at that, beautiful." And so Jenna's like, I'm used to dressing low-key in the Hamptons because I actually am someone who works in fashion, not someone who pretends to be in fashion. And everyone here is like dressed to the nines and like heels and white and khaki, which they did not manage to manifest for my house. So yeah, great. So happy about that.
And Brynn's like, we look like we're a part of a girl group. What girl group? Like the pumpkin spice, like the pumpkin spice girls? Like, what are you? What group would this be?
Exactly.
It's like a Wilson Phillips cover band. Like, who are you guys?
My favorite part, though, by the way, of this show so far is whenever Jenna does like a low-key shade of everyone's fashion, when she's like, I personally dress low-key for the Hamptons, but they're all dressed to the nines, which is her way of being like, so I'm a fashion icon and you guys are not, so what's going on with you two?
She's like, whoa, can't wait to have brunch at Dave & Buster's with this crowd.
Oh, you guys are in the Pumpkin Spice Girls, because that would explain why your biggest hit is called Wannabe. Yeah.
Oh. So Aaron, so they're like, "Oh my God, should I change? We all look the same." And Aaron's like, "Where do these ladies think they're going?" And they're like way too dressed for lunch and SAG, which, by the way, is a union that would support Cock if Cock ever decided to pick it.
So then Sai tells us, "I don't try to be glam. It just happens. Okay, slay all day, even on my day off." I'm like, it just happens. You brought 45 bags to the Hamptons. That doesn't. Your glam does not just happen. Sorry.
Yeah, that is some very good glam. So Uba's like, "I have two uniforms. I'm either supermodel queen or I'm not glam at all." It's like, well. Those aren't really uniforms. But she's like, but in the Hamptons, you bring it. So they leave. And it's hilarious because they go to this like little lunch place called Paige.
Yeah. Oh, hi.
Paige at 63 Main. Not Paige. Like, oh my God, I'm mortified that you all paid full price. Except for Sai, who got hers for free, which is just as tacky somehow.
I am mortified that there's a restaurant that's envisioning what I'll look like when I'm 63. Paige at 63. Man. Like me when I'm 63 visiting Maine. How terrible. What a terrible concept for a restaurant.
Paige at 63. Still hate Maine.
Dislike and unsubscribe, please.
Paige at 63. Maine's gross.
I love a fanfic restaurant based on Paige. Hey everyone, I'm just here to interrupt this podcast. This wound up being basically a 2-hour episode, so we're just going to split it off. This is going to be the end of part 1. Stay tuned. Part 2 is going to be up very, very, very soon. See you in a moment. Thanks, everyone.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch. Kristen the Piston Anderson.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Megan Berg, you can't have a burger without the Berg.
You're never alone with Lacey Monteleone.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
There ain't no problem that Sarah Salvia can't solve ya.
Ruru LaRue.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors, the incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva. Erica, 500 Days of Summers.
She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke. We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
We want to hang with Liz Lang.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
Looking for love? I'm Jujubee, and on this season of Queen of Hearts, we're going all the way down to sunny, sexy Miami. I'm setting up the hottest singles in South Florida. Maybe I can find them their perfect partner, or someone to fulfill their sexiest fantasies.
A man who unconditionally loves me and is a raging feminist, and then ties me up, rubbing oils on me, then surprise gets a girl to lick my and another guy to put it in my and has a huge...
But remember, there's a twist. No one can see each other until the very end. Camera's on.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Woo! Got me blessed.
Follow Queen of Hearts on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen ad-free on Amazon Music, included with Prime. Download the Amazon Music app now, or you can listen ad-free by subscribing to Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app.